Hey guys, welcome to another Garmin Fenix 3 video. This is my Garmin Fenix 3 Sapphire version. I originally got this watch a few months ago and I did a kind of initial impressions unboxing type of video when I got it, but now that I've had it for several months and used it for quite a few things, I wanted to do a follow-up video and share my thoughts. Now, what I've used this watch for, well, from road running, trail running, mountain bike riding, rock climbing, day hikes, multi-day hikes, spearfishing, kayaking. I definitely put this watch through its paces, and definitely has some pros and cons, which I want to share a little bit about. But also, it's my day-to-day where when I go out at work, for work, I work at a gym. I'm a instructor, personal trainer. I teach a lot of boxing and things like that. So I use this, and I'll explain some of the features which I think are great if you're a trainer and an instructor. But I also think it's quite a good looking watch. So this is kind of why it's also my daily wear. Definitely people have commented, especially when I changed from my Mudman to the Fenix. So not a bad looking watch. It's definitely a decent size, but it fits quite well on my wrist, and there's not too many dramas there. So I mean, let's talk a little bit about the watch itself. Really big plus about this watch is it's completely customizable. Pretty much is a smartwatch. You can see here I've got a digital face, and as you probably see in a lot of reviews, you can make it digital, analog, have different data come up, etc, etc. This kind of also goes for all the different settings and activities. So when you go to hit the top right button, you've got all the different kind of settings here for the activities. Now this is, I think, is really good, because obviously the data that I want to see when I'm running is going to be a little bit different to the data that I want to see when I'm kayaking, for example. So let's take a look at that. Over here, when I run, I've completely customized this, so you can kind of change the fields, etc. I want to see the distance, I want to see the timer, and I want to see my heart rate. We'll just get that out of the way. So the distance, timer, and the heart rate, they're kind of my things that I want to come up. When I scroll down onto the next card, I'll have a look at the average pace, the lap timer, lap pace, and they're the only real things that I want to see. So I've only got two different pages here for my running. We will quickly just discard that, and I'll show you a different profile. So let's go over to kayaking, for example. So when I'm kayaking, it's going to be a little bit different. I want to see my time of day. I want to see the timer, how long I've been going for, the distance, how far I've gone, and my kind of average speed while I'm pedaling. And then my second card here is a little bit of a map, so I can kind of see where I've been, if you will, kind of track that. If I want to put specific waypoints on here, say for example I found a sandbank or something of interest which I maybe want to stop for a little bit, I can mark that on the map as well and kind of paddle towards it. So they're kind of the information. That's kind of the information I'll see when I am out there paddling. And that's a really big plus about this watch. You can really customize that information. However, that does lead to a downside. At the moment, the only way to do that is through the watch itself. So if we go into, one second, settings, they're called apps, so we go into the apps, and if you want to say customize a app, or let's go back to our kayaking one, for example, then you have to do it all through the watch. So you'll be going through data screens, you select which screen you want. So we have that first screen, you select what kind of layouts you want. You can see here you've got plenty of different layouts. Then you go into each one of the different fields. Let me just go back to the one I had. You go through the different fields, then you select, what do you want, what kind of specific field you want. Then you select, let's say pace field, then you kind of select what kind of pace detail you want that. So everything is super customizable, but it's an easy process, but it takes a lot of time. So that's kind of one of the downsides. It would be nice if it did that through an app or even online. Unfortunately, you can only do it through the watch at this point in time. So Let's have a look at some of the other things. I won't go through too much because there's a lot of different videos out there with all that information. What I did wanted to share a little bit is probably the slightly lesser known things and some of the things which really make this watch stand out for me for my daily wear and for my daily type of training. Now obviously you've got your set activities here, so like I mentioned, you know, I've got a whole bunch of different settings over here. But you've also got these two programmable buttons on the right hand side. Now what you don't have too many choices with it, but there's a few different options that you can program these to. I've got the top right. If I press and hold, it goes to your stopwatch. Now I can't tell you how awesome that is, especially at work. If I need a stopwatch really quickly or what have you, then it's straight on the watch. I don't have to fool around with lots of different settings. It's just literally press and hold and I've got my regular stopwatch. It does have the lap function. If I press down for the lap, no problem there. Press and hold, it will go back to your watch screen. However, that's still running. So if I press and hold, okay, it's still going over there. Let's get rid of that. Cool. Now the bottom right hand side, again, it's another programmable button, and that button is a timer. Okay, so from here, one of the great things about this one is that it's completely customizable. You have the minutes and you also have the seconds, so it's very, very, very detailed. And again, one of the good things about this is you quickly need a timer, press and hold that button, and it's awesome. It really helps at work, and also when you're just kind of doing daily training. You can set 20-minute AMRAPs, things like that, really easily, or even when you're weightlifting, if you want different kind of rest times, etc. More customizable features about this is that from here you can have it auto restart, different types of notifications, so tone and vibrate. So again, one of the pluses about this watch is really how customizable it is, and I can't compliment this watch enough. Before, you know, I would have my G-Shock, my Mudman. It would have a basic timer on it and also have a basic countdown timer on it, but you couldn't adjust the seconds, it couldn't auto restart, things like that. So, you know, I considered getting something like a Gym Boss time, or you'd have to have a second type of watch, or etc, etc. There's very few watches which really do everything when it comes to not only the GPS type of function and the customizability with the profiles, but just kind of the stopwatches, the countdown timers, etc, etc. Another real beneficial thing about this watch when it comes to training is you've got your stopwatch, you've got your timer, your countdown timer, but you can also go into, say for example, training. You can create workouts online. So here, for example, I've created a sprint workout, so let's view that. It's got 12 steps in that. I've got a 5-minute warm-up, then I've got a 100-meter sprint, recover for 40 seconds, and you repeat that, okay, 2 to 3 times through. Okay, then you rest 90 seconds, okay, and it repeats itself. So I've got a workout which I've programmed there. I'm pretty big into my sprinting for training, for boxing. I don't always have access to a 100-meter track, or sometimes the day's really nice, so I go out on the beach. And this GPS will let me know basically when I'm going 100 meters, when to rest, like when to stop running, how long to recover for. So I can do that workout anywhere. And you can program several different workouts into that, which is amazing. I find that really, really useful. Let's go back one, and we'll go to intervals. So another really kind of common training protocol that a lot of people which are into fitness, CrossFit, etc., what have you know, is tableters. So that's 20 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest, and from here again I can program that into the watch. So let's go ahead and let's say do the workout. Let's say you pick a profile that you want to link it to. So let's say for example running, I'll be doing tableter on a track. I'll go over there. Okay, let's start it. So from here you've got round 1 out of 8, okay, and it's going to go, and you've got the countdown timer there. When you get to the last 5 seconds, it'll start to beep. Again, you can connect to GPS. I've got GPS for my running, so it'll also track how far you run. And here you go, you got the countdown timer, and then it'll switch over to the rest. It also vibrates. Now I think this is really handy. I use this a lot with my clients when I'm, say, holding pads for them for a fitness type drill. And I can't always, you know, look at the time, or I can't look at the clock, so I've got this watch here which will run the protocol, or any other protocol for that matter, maybe 2 minutes of work, 1 minute of rest, and it beeps and it also vibrates on my wrist. So once again, it's super handy. Alright, so that's kind of really what I wanted to talk about for this video. I didn't want to make it too long. It's already gone for 10 minutes. Just again listed the really big plus that you can create the custom workout profiles. If you're definitely one of those people that do lots of different activities, it is a little bit tedious, but it is easy to do. It just takes a little bit of time. And some of the other kind of I wouldn't say smart functions of the watch, in terms of it doesn't make it a smart watch. It's not, you know, people kind of usually talk about, oh, it'll do notifications and altitude and GPS. But as a person that's into fitness and training and does lots of different types of activities, etc., which involve having to keep track of time, whether it be weights, track work, boxing, I don't know, any type of training, this watch is absolutely phenomenal at it. It is one of the only watches which I found which does everything, absolutely everything in regards to tracking time, whether it be timer, countdown timer, sprint work, intervals. It's really good in that regard. I can't recommend it enough. Definitely not the cheapest watch. I wouldn't buy it just for that, but it's the whole package. If you're looking for something that does do GPS, does do all the different profiles, and you were kind of worried, well, will it have all the other kind of features, the basic kind of stuff, because maybe it's too smart for its own good, if that kind of makes sense. Righto guys, thanks for watching. I hope you found this kind of semi-useful. I know there's already a lot of videos on this, and so I wanted to kind of approach this video from a slightly different angles. If you have any questions about this watch, give us a yell and I'll make another video. Thanks for watching.